Hello everyone. In this tutorial we aim to show you an effect, a very curious effect, which is to grab an image, a simple 2D image, and transform it into a 3D space, the illusion of a 3D space, to create an effect similar as this one. So the technique will be the camera projection tool that we can use it easily with Project3D in the Foundry Nuke. So let's start. So the effect should be something sort of as this one. Okay, I'm gonna close this project and I'm gonna start with a different image that I downloaded from web. Hallie from Seattle. So I will reformat, apply the reformat node, pass to AGD, composition, not center, to have a little bit more of floor. And the idea is simple as that, to create some cards, 3D plans, to put in the space. So I'll need cards, but to use 3D in Nuke we need a scene, we need a camera, and of course this I can connect to the card, and of course to render we need a scanline render, connect the cam, object scene to scene, and background to this one. So I'm gonna connect the viewer, and now what I have is a 3D space with a card here. As you notice, I can drag in x-axis, and if this should be the floor, I'll name it floor, and I will rotate it down 90 degrees in x. I don't need these subdivisions because I will not work in real 3D, and I'm gonna scale it down in X. I'm gonna push a little bit back, and the scale in Y-axis will be a little bit bigger. I don't know how much. I'm gonna select the camera, double click on camera, take it a little bit to the top in Y-axis, and now let's see what's happening. I'll create a constant. The constant will be to have a sort of a floor, and now I will try to push this a little bit down. The perspective is a little bit different, so I have to fine adjust this. I have the floor a little bit bigger, probably a little bit smaller. I need it, so double click on floor, scale in Y, 7, and now I need probably to rotate a little bit the camera. So if you change for 3D vision by the perspective of the photography, so I'll need it to select the camera, double click, press Command or Control key, and now we can rotate it a little bit, or a little bit. So in this case I'm not seeing the floor. I have to fine adjust this very softly to try to get the same perspective. And now with the floor selected, I will push a little bit further. Okay, and what I have is now something roughly similar, the same vanishing point, so it looks fine. I will increase the size too much just to get into the deep of this space. Okay, I have already the floor, so I'm gonna copy it, copy it, connect to the scene, into the background to have at least a color. I'm gonna put here a knot, just press Ctrl or Command in Mac and click there and you create dots. Okay, so I have this floor, double click, I'm gonna change it to wall, wall, and now I needed to rotate it to be a wall, so it's a little bit large with this floor, but doesn't matter. Okay, for the wall, scale it 1, rotate it 0, and now I'm gonna start to rotate in Y, and reduce, reset the scale, and now the scale in X will be much larger. So I'm gonna rotate, push a little bit, not rotate, sorry, push a little bit the wall to cross here the floor. Okay, by the way, Alt left click to drag, Command or Control in PC to rotate the object, or to rotate the perspective with the mouse here. Okay, so now there's the wall. I'm gonna push a little bit here and I'm gonna scale it in Y, so maybe 2, and I'm getting something the same perspective, it looks like. So this wall I'm gonna copy also, and I will push for the other side. Double click wall 1, and I'm gonna pass here to have what looks like the same perspective. This should be a little bit higher because the buildings on the right are a little bit higher, and now I have a kind of correct perspective here. So basically what we have here is something like a camera in the middle of a street, an alley, 2 cards, vertical cards, which is buildings from the left and buildings from the right, and somewhere in the middle the floor, another card, this one, that is the floor. Okay, so basically we are done with 3D modeling, and now what we need is to project, to use this camera as a projector to project this texture to these solid objects. Now we need the project tool, which is Project3D, and the idea is to project what? Project to the cards what? The data that comes from the camera and the texture that should be came from reformat. So now, as you notice, this camera is projecting over the surface, is projecting this image. So this is a little bit messy now. What's happening is I have a camera, I can switch off. I have this camera that is being used as a projector. The input for project is this image, I can switch off also from here, and is the output, oops, sorry, and the output of the Project3D is to the walls and to the floors. Okay, so what's happening here is the camera, this camera is projecting to the models these textures. Okay, so what we need now is to copy this camera to put inside of this alley and after animate it. So what I'll do is copy paste this camera, sorry, copy, click here, paste, and this should be, I'm gonna change camera to record the scene, and the other is camera project. Okay, so this camera should be connected to here. Double click on the camera and I'm gonna move it a little bit here, and now if you notice, if I move the camera in Z-axis, I will start to enter inside of the space, and the result is looking, yeah, great. So basically we are done. Here we have a project tool, a camera that is the projector, this one, and a new one to animate. For instance, I will double click on my camera that's gonna record, double click, I'm gonna create a keyframe, set key here, and now for instance 40 frames, I'm gonna push the camera a little bit further to here, and now I have my animation. Okay, so I have a hole here because if I wish I could put there any background. So this is also a nice tool to create an effect, to have here a kind of matte painting, and basically is it simple as that. It's working really fine. Okay, hope you have enjoyed it.